Yep. Baylor, round two, taking on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Oklahoma State just under a touchdown favorite to open up here. Total was 49. And talk about two teams in which preseason nobody saw being in this situation. Oklahoma State somewhere around 14 or 15 to 1 to win it. Baylor was a 50 to 1 shot to win the Big 12, and yet Dave Aranda and company, look at where they are here right now with an opportunity to take down the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So, Brian, let me come back to you in this one here. Oklahoma State rolling. Can they continue to do it?
I really like both of these teams. They've been very good to me this season. Makes it hard to play against either one of them. If you're like a normal bettor and somebody has been very good to you, you hate to go against them. But these are two teams that I think a lot of sharp people made a lot of money on. The only concern for myself is Oklahoma State had that game against Oklahoma that could have gone either way. And they win that game 37 to 33. That's their Super Bowl, basically. That's probably more important than this game is. We'll see what happens. But the concern I have from a Baylor standpoint is when they played Oklahoma State earlier this year, they played at the Cowboys Stadium. They lose that game 24 to 14. They had 14 less first downs, 121 less yards, and they had a +3 turnover margin. Very often, when you get a +3 turnover margin, you're going to win that game. You're going to cover that game. To lose by the spread by 6 points in that contest is somewhat concerning here. Maybe it's a matchup situation. I don't know. But I wanted to fade Oklahoma State after that Oklahoma game. The line opened, I believe, 6.5 and has been bet down to 5. I think it's the right side, but unless I could get 6, if it comes back to 6, I think I'm a buyer on Baylor. But unless it comes back to 6, I'll probably be sitting this one out.
All right, and I don't know, Adam, have you heard what the status of the quarterback for Baylor is? Had a bit of a hamstring tweak there. Does it even matter if he is or isn't the quarterback in this game?
I think it matters, and as far as I can see, he's going to play. It looked like they held him out of the Texas Tech game as a precaution because he was warming up, and I guess he was there. But it looks like they made a last-second decision to just go with the backup. So he should play. I think that's probably why the line initially dipped from 6.5. It was all the way down to 4 at some point yesterday. And then it looks like it got bought back up. I saw 5.5 right before we came on air. I agree with Brian. I think 6 is kind of key, but I like this. I actually like both of these teams, but Baylor's been undervalued all year, and I've done well with them this year. So I definitely want to try to figure out a way to take them here. And I actually think this could be, even though it's the Big 12 championship game and there's a potential spot in the college football playoff on the line, I wonder if this is a little bit of a letdown spot for Oklahoma State after finally beating Oklahoma in the fashion they did last week. Baylor, they're obviously the underdog here. I feel like they've kind of been playing with like a nothing to lose mentality for a while now this season. So the pressure's probably on Oklahoma State here. But I really like Baylor. They have a balanced attack. They can run the ball. You know, there's no real like liability on offense. I want to say their pass and rush output is almost dead even. And you know, Oklahoma State is outstanding defensively. So they're obviously, you know, they're probably the superior team on paper. But I like, again, just from the last game we spoke about, I like the fact that these two teams have played. It gives Baylor a chance to make adjustments. And it just, the first game, Oklahoma State kind of dominated. They only won by 10, even though they did dominate the stat sheet. I think the first downs were like 24 to 10, if I remember correctly. So I think Baylor can make some adjustments here. I think 6 is kind of a key number, but I see the Bears hanging around, and I lean Baylor with the points here.
All right, leading Baylor and the points. Dave, I remember it was a week 3 or 4 when Oklahoma State went to Boise State on a Friday night, and boy, woo, what a difference a couple of minutes makes there. But here they are, Big 12 and playoff implications here for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Do you think they can run the table?
Yeah, the Big 12 should have moved this to a night game. They're not doing Oklahoma State any favors because if Oklahoma State, if Cincinnati gets beat, if Alabama gets beat, if Michigan gets beat, if any of those things happen, Oklahoma State could go out there at night and score a big win and maybe get themselves into the playoff. But they're playing at 9 in the morning. Seriously, if I'm the Big 12, I'd have moved the game to a night game. It's like give our team the best chance to make a statement. But they didn't. And I made the line in this game 4.5. I have no idea what to do with it. I mean, Oklahoma State should have killed Baylor in the first game, should have won by 30. And the fact they only won by 10, and it wasn't a great spot for Baylor, that may get me to the Baylor side a little bit. I also think they've got a better coach to be cut on. Aranda's done a phenomenal job with this Baylor team. So I think there are some edges for Baylor. Not enough for me to play it, though. Oklahoma State is the better football team.
I think we're just glad that we have a Big 12 championship game back because, that was nice of them to pull it back in 2010, then realized, oops, this wasn't a great idea here, guys. But it is noon Eastern time kickoff there. Oklahoma State taking on Baylor.